Sorry, I wanted to start recording because I realized we hadn't done this. If anyone has a problem, by the way, with us recording, please let me know in a private message and I'll make sure that your face nor your voice is heard on the Zoom at all. We just want this for posterity's sake, and so we can share it. But the fundamental shift we've made from like the climate movement of the past is that now we're actually talking about the real solutions. Yes, Liz, I love what you said in the chat that we need to stop putting the blame on individuals. Exactly. So that is why we're here. We're talking about a Green New Deal. So I think many of us on this call have like relative degrees of fluency with the Green New Deal. I'm wondering if people can like raise their hand or put a star in the chat if you've heard of the Green New Deal before. Just heard of it. Drop a star in the chat or raise your hand. I see Anna, I see Peter. Come on, we gotta have more. Oh, I see a lot of people. It seems like many people have heard of a Green New Deal. Now, I have a bit of a tougher question. For those of you who have dropped a star, can you tell me whether what you heard was good, was it bad, or was it kind of in the middle when you heard about a Green New Deal? Was it good, bad, or eh? Tim says both. Both is an acceptable answer as well. In the middle, depends on where. Yes, Justin, you beat the question before it even started. Overwhelmingly positive. This phenomenal. Love to hear it. Wow, it seems like many of us have actually had much more positive reactions or much more positive reactions with the Green New Deal than much of the population. But now we're going to dispel any like preconceived notions you might have had, anything you might have heard from Fox News, from Twitter. We're just going to aggregate it all right here, and we are going to talk about the facts of a Green New Deal. And I think that the positive future and vision of a Green New Deal has been historically super swayed by fossil fuel billionaires and the media stations they control. So again, we're not going to talk about the Green New Deal here today in that way. We're going to talk about it as this like governing agenda, as this radical vision for society that's going to stop climate change, create millions of good jobs in the process, and rise to the scale that justice and science demand. So we are Generation Green New Deal. But what does that look like? What does that mean? Can I get 5 volunteers in the chat, just drop a star, to read off these points? 5 volunteers, that's all I need. Okay, I see Ollie, I see Shayla, I see Anna, I see Savannah. Can I get one more? Oh, I see Ashlyn. Thank you guys. All right, Ollie, do you want to kick us off by reading off the first bullet point? Just take yourself off mute and read it.
All right, transforming our public transportation system.
Love it. The next person can just go as soon as that's over.
Building and retrofitting thousands of buildings.
Investing enormously in our renewable energy system.
Reforming our agricultural system.
Repairing and updating old infrastructure.
Love it. Thank you guys so much. And now I want to open up some space to ask people who might have heard about a Green New Deal what excites them outside of these things about a Green New Deal. What policy components of it make you really like gassed about it, I suppose is the right way to say it. I know for me, it's hearing about a just transition. Growing up in Eastern Kentucky, this is a really top priority. But yeah, I would love to see what other people have to say in the chat. Sorry, I'm seeing if you're seeing the slides change a bit. I would love to open up the chat just to see what people have heard about a Green New Deal and what really excites them about it. Clean energy. Yes, absolutely. What else? Maybe, oh, a just transition, clean air. Things that come to mind are like Medicare for all, job opportunities. Yes, absolutely. A federal jobs guarantee. What else? Green and sustainable jobs, the promise of a livable future. I'm loving all of these. I think of a second Bill of Rights, somebody who's taken Sunrise School. Wow. Real change. Yes, thank you, Tim. Reparations for Black and Brown communities. Yes, Cameron was on that. Racial justice, land back for Indigenous communities, centering folks with marginalized identities. Wow. Love to see it. You guys, you know what's in a Green New Deal. You know what you're gassed about. I don't even know I'm here talking to you about it. You guys are great. And I just want to be super clear that a Green New Deal is not some like federally mandated program. It's federally funded, but it's locally implemented, which means that in Kentucky, we would have the opportunity to have a Green New Deal that's drawing upon things that communities in West Louisville and in Appalachia have been calling for decades. And Kentuckians would have the power to determine how this was implemented. A Green New Deal is going to work to build strong, resilient communities and an economy that works for everyone and save our planet and lift us out of an economic recession and public health crisis, right? But as we've seen, this is not going to just magically happen because our opposition remains strong. Can everyone take a moment and drop who the opposition is in the chat? Mitch McConnell, absolutely. Mitch McConnell, Mitch, wow. That is one component. Fox News, apathy, such a good one, Tim. Fossil fuel billionaires, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many good ones. Corporate America, absolutely. Big business. Fossil fuel billionaires all the way. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, so we know that like fossil fuel billionaires are willing to spend millions of dollars lying to the American people so they can keep profiting. In 2016, two of those billionaires, the Koch brothers, spent almost as much as a third party in our general elections, which is insane, right? No wonder we can't get real climate action when our politicians are just being bought out. I am looking at you, Mitch McConnell, right? And this is not, as so many people said, this is not about Republicans and Democrats. It is not about party. Both of the parties take fossil fuel money. Corporate politicians are taking this money. Yeah, shout out to Charles Booker, who is not, right? And this is about the politicians who have been bought out and refuse to listen to their constituents. And I'm seeing a lot of energy in the chat. So I think the natural question is, what are we going to do about it? I'm going to pass it to Scotty to explain more.
Hey, sorry, Natalie.
Sorry, Natalie.
You're fine. I go to Franklin County, use she, her pronouns. I'm so happy to be on this call with all you guys who care about our planet and our communities. As youth, we have a crucial part in this movement. We have power because we are young and because we are taking a stand. We are the generation that is going to be the most affected by climate change. And by taking a part in this movement, just like you are right now by being here, we are showing lawmakers that we care about our futures and that we want to defend it. And this is us working toward that goal. Lily, could you switch the slide, please? The next one. Yes. So as these images come up, what comes to your mind? You can just drop it in the chat. Like the first thing you think of when you see these images. What is it? Just anything. Yes, powerful change. Yes. People power. I love it. Yes, passion. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I see when I look at these, I see, people are striking, right? Because that's what Youth Climate Strike is about. Yes, advocacy, action. Yes, beautiful. Ah, I love this. But yeah, it's showing us how, we can create change with people coming together, advocating for the same goal. And unfortunately, now we can't do that for this strike because of COVID-19, but in the future, we will come back just as strong as ever. So everyone who dropped something, thank you for sharing. Another thing that I take away from these images is how many youth are actually involved in the fight. In taking action, we are going to attract notice and draw attention to our cause. And that's the first step in creating change. We also have moral authority. We have the ethical high ground here because we're fighting for what's right. We are appealing to people's consciences by showing them that the younger generation cares about the future of the world. We are powerful. Now, if I said escalated moral protest, what do you think of? You can drop it in the chat. Just what do you think of when I say escalated moral protest? Eating the rich. But what does it mean? Angry or protest? Yeah, in a way. Mass strike, yes, yes. Movement, boycott. Great. Number. Yes. Love these answers. Passionate, justice. These are all great. In my mind, this type of protest asks, which side are you on? That's what it's asking to all these people who we're targeting. It directly confronts issues and the people to bring attention to the enormity of the climate problem. We're disrupting the status quo, and that in itself will make people listen. This method of escalated moral protest was used by both the American women's suffrage movement and the civil rights movement. We have history behind us showing us that we can succeed. However, now, because of COVID, we can't participate in this action for this strike, but we will in future strikes, and we hope to have you with us. Lily, could you switch slide, please?
Yeah, one moment. I really want to be cognizant. I tried to upgrade our Zoom